Welcome back to the Kosher Yaya channel. And today we're going to be talking a little bit about the scary fact that today we have to be very, very careful about what our kids are watching. And I'm talking about from the time that you are just learning nursery rhymes. So I used to love for my son to listen to the original The Ants Go Marching song. But in today's world, unfortunately, all of the big entertainment companies, or many of them, whether you're talking about Disney or Nickelodeon, or even now we've got Netflix and Paramount getting into these things, as well as a lot of individual writers who are very, very purposeful in their mission. So here's the story. Many of the songs that our kids listen to from the time they are extremely young and learning to speak till all the way up into adulthood are now being directed to this new radical gender ideology that is being pushed on them to such an extent that it is terrifying. Now, as we know, it's summer. Yay! Excuse me. Our kids are home. They are either playing outside, doing healthy activities, or they are sometimes just listening to music, taking a break inside, watching television, and unfortunately, or playing a video game. And as we know, those have been terrifying, and I can only imagine what's coming next. And of course, there's some that I'm not going to name there specifically. Of course, why not? Why not talk about GTA and Grand Theft Auto, about the fact that that is disgusting if your child is actually playing that game. And if you don't know what is involved in that game, I definitely recommend you learn how to play it and get a little bit more involved in what your kids are learning. Because I have a son who's actually very innocent when it comes to the things that he's seen. And now when he's went to another home and gotten an opportunity to see firsthand what's on this game, he can't really seem so innocent. So we all know that once you see something and hear something, it is almost impossible to get it out of your brain. Now, the trick that they're trying to play with the young children is that they want to passively help them forget about the traditional and genuine family values, the way that God made us, the way that it was intended. And in fact, it is stated by one of Disney's authors that it's very important for them to hear these songs and to be opened up to all of this new ideology, because they need to redefine family. Why are we redefining it? Why are we doing that? Why are we teaching our children that the way that man and woman was made and the way that they come to the earth to replenish and fill the earth with their children? Why are we teaching them that that is the wrong thing? Why are we giving them an idea that instead it's natural for a person to actually be able to change sexes, and also feed them the lie that life goes on as a happy, go merry little family? That's not the way it works. We've seen it time and time again on many people who have actually taken this route, and from their own personal disgruntled feelings afterward, to extreme depression, to massive death. We have seen that this is a terrible thing, and I am not saying this lightly. Right now, it's summer. It is more important than ever. There's never been a summer that is more important for us in America specifically to know where your kids are at, who they're with, what they're watching, what they're listening to. And I don't care what age you're talking about either. It can be because other parents are more open to something than you are, and they may have a different understanding and they don't understand the truth the way that you do. Or it can be your teens who are learning things. And I don't even know why I say teens. We have elementary students who are running into so much trouble these days because they're being fed so much garbage in school. So I apologize, that was missaid. Point being, guys, it is so important as a parent for you to not only be very involved and to take control of what your kids are watching, listening to, playing, and who they're with, and not only be aware of it and have control in your home, But let's be honest, you're not always going to be there. As much as parents we want to think we will, it's just not going to happen. It is a very important part of life for them to be social and to have friends and go out and learn the world, but in a healthy fashion. And it is our job. If you are a parent, it is your job to make sure that you, even if you can't be there all the time, that you are the most open book in the world for them. It is your job to make sure that if they're not asking questions, you're asking questions. And if they are asking questions, that you answer them very openly and with love and in a way that they never feel ashamed. Because as uncomfortable as it can be for some of these things to be expressed, would you rather them hear about the truth from you or the warped truth or the misunderstood truth from someone else? So I just am advising every parent out there, even though I know that if you're listening to this channel and you believe in the truth and you want to fight for the truth, it is sometimes uncomfortable and it is easier said than done. Do not allow your nervousness to talk about uncomfortable subjects to your children to bring that conversation to a short halt. Because I promise if you don't have the conversation, someone else will have it with them and you have no idea what is going to be said in that conversation. So if you aren't sold yet, I just wanted to let you know, I mean, we have got things coming, like I said, to kids of all ages. Not only the Ants Go Marching On that has been rewritten by Linz Amer, who, like I said, believes that we need to redefine family, and also did a TED Talk about how important it is for the kids to start learning this at a very impressionable age so that they can have a more open ability to learn themselves. Let me repeat that. They want your young children to hear things about the Ants Go Marching On, which, by the way, is a song that talks about all of the different members of the LGBTQ family and shows this in a cartoon scenario about every kind of family except for a man and a woman with a child. The only thing that this song does not celebrate is the traditional value family. So again, it is sad to say, but something that can be labeled as a kids track on YouTube or Spotify or any of these things, this does not mean kid friendly anymore. So I cannot express it enough how important it is, because we all know that there's a reason why people remember nursery rhymes and kid songs until we are way past how old I am now. And that's because you hear it and it sticks. And they want to go after your youngest, sweetest, most innocent child that you are teaching right from wrong and teaching the values of a family and how to grow into a good young man or woman. They want to instead have them be instilled with these values of immorality. So be aware of those things. And again, like I said, never put yourself in a position to wish that you had had the conversation with them first. And I know that it's almost impossible to say, because there's going to be times where they come home and say, Mom, Dad, what the heck is going on? Or they don't. And that's why it's so important for us to be expressive to our kids, because as parents, that is our job, to protect them and to recognize sometimes, even though kids trust us, if there is something that seems so outlandish, so uncomfortable, they may even feel shy to come to you about it. So don't you be shy. You be the one to stand up, go forward to them, and just ask the questions. Have an understanding of what they're getting out of their social groups, what they're getting out of when they go for a ride with their friends, when they go to preschool. It is unbelievable how cautious we have to be, and just so important. Also, just one more thing that I just wanted to bring to the table is it's becoming more and more apparent that a lot of the states out there that have been really fighting the conservative fight to save our children from minors having surgeries or getting your blockers, your estrogen blockers, your hormones and things like that. We need to really be fighting for these states because there are so many of them that are getting so much backlash from the federal government trying to overturn the ability for us to protect our kids. So make sure you guys, if I've said this before, if it hasn't come to your doorstep yet, whether it be that you haven't noticed a song or a show or a game that they're playing, or whether it just hasn't been something brought to your attention yet, I promise you, whether you're in one of the most, quote, protected states, they're coming after you and your family. So be on the front line. Do not be quiet. I know there are so many people out there who agree with what I'm saying, and I also know there's plenty that disagree. But I do fight for the truth, and I fight for my kid. I fight for your kids. And so please do not be silent, because I promise it is more important for you to be able to look back in history and say, I fought for my kids. I fought for the kids of our country. I fought for our next generation, than to sit back and be quiet and watch it happen. Because the reason they're fighting back so hard is because we are making a difference. Because we know what America stands for. We know the truth about family and values and moral and good faith. So do not be silent. Let people know your standards and your beliefs. Be bold. I promise you will not regret it. Hey, you guys, I know this was a really quick video. This was just something that more and more books and more programs and different styles of entertainment are coming across the board that you would not believe, that are targeted all at your children. So never have your eyes half open. Always be aware and always be ready to stand up and fight, not for you, for your kids. Thank you guys so much for joining me at the Kosher Yaya channel, and we'll see you next time.